from the shop. We're a little late this morning, but we still here, so that means we on time. Again, good morning, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Taz Show, live from the shop. Again, we got to give thanks to the shop for letting us do this. We're located here at Broad and Dolphin. Come and get you a cut. If you're not too busy today, man, stop by. Maybe catch us in here one day, talk some sports shit. We got to get into a big weekend this weekend. For those that don't know, we talked about it on the last show. Man, the Sixers made a big move. Got Jaylen Brown in here, and it seems like the Flyers decided to jump on the bandwagon. They signed my man Leo Carlson from the Anaheim Mighty Ducks to a big offer sheet, to which Anaheim has till Friday to match. And from the way things are looking, and Anaheim's not going to match it. So Flyers making big moves, Sixers making big moves. Phillies lost a big series this weekend, but they're still hot for what it's worth. Oh man, sports is on fire right now. But let's get back into this Jaylen Brown thing, man, because the media right now is roasting him. The big thing is out of Boston that they basically traded him, because it was a salary dump or whatnot. And like we discussed last show, man, it's a shame that, in this day and age, our athletes can't be scholars. I mean, I remember back in the day, when we, when sports, really was like a big thing in the neighborhood where we looked at it as like the only way out of poverty. We pretty much praised guys that used to be student athletes, or we wanted our athletes to be more than just dumb jocks. And now in this day and age, we got cats like Jaylen Brown, that honor and take education seriously, along with their craft, which is a good thing. You don't want no dumb jocks out here, speaking on things and using their platform, to educate the people and lead people in the wrong direction. And here it is, you got a cat that's basically pretty much which I just found out this weekend. This dude is smart enough to work for NASA. So you got a guy like that who can not only compete on the basketball court, but can compete in corporate America. And he's being shunned, not by just the folk, but his own people. Stephen A. Smith. And I'm not just doing this for clicks or whatever. I'm an unknown. Stephen A. will probably never hear this, but then again, he probably will. But I can't ride with that, man. I can't ride with that. It has to be a time where you got guys like that who have a big platform and can pick up dudes like Jaylen Brown and encourage other guys that are youthful, or that are younger than him, that have a career going on to be like that. Be outspoken about things that aren't cool, that aren't correct. To be the voice of reason for the community and communities that don't have a voice. Most importantly, to be the voice of the black community. Which seems to be getting left behind. And then you got, like I said, Stephen A. Smith, who's pretty much on this crusade to basically crucify this cat. And it's not even on a basketball level. You challenging this dude to come on platforms and basically talk about politics and all this other goofy shit that has nothing to do with his talents, which is what you should be reporting on. Then you threaten the cat, basically saying, oh, you don't want me to report on what's really going on. Well, how about people report what's really going on with you, Stephen A.? How about people, report on why we haven't seen you with a woman on TV or anywhere for that fact? What if people did that? You wouldn't like that. So basically, it's a situation where these media dudes, man, need to just keep it strictly basketball, especially if you're not going to report on people, in a positive light. And it's crazy because here it is, Stephen A. is real good friends with the great Allen Iverson. I ain't see you do no shit like that to AI, because you know what probably happened to your ass. You probably get punched in your face. That type shit. So, you know who to really do it to and who really not to do it to. And that's the sad part. And that's these other media members like Colin Cowherd, another one. But we know where his angle is coming from. He basically told you what white America thinks about dudes like Jaylen Brown. When you smart and they can't just put a wool over your eyes or run stupid shit by you. Like this dude basically negotiated his own rookie contract and got a good deal. This dude basically told Nike go fuck theyself and did his own thing and is still thriving. See, when guys like that challenge the system, then you get this narratives being pushed. And as a black journalist, if I was to ever, be put on or get that type of platform, which I am soon, I'm never going to do that. Not to any black athlete. I'm never going to do that. Yeah, we're going to keep it strictly sports based on your play. You know what I mean? And that's it. What they do off the court, if it ain't positive, that's you know what I mean? We'll talk about it a little bit. But, you know what I mean? I try not to put these dudes down because it's enough, you know what I mean, hate, especially, again, as a black man, it's enough hate being thrown our way. You know what I mean? We get it from the home. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? We get it from our own women, our own children. You know what I mean? We get it from the other side, other races. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we get it from our own black men. You know what I mean? Who be in positions of power, gatekeeping. You know what I mean? Doing sucker shit. Instead of supporting and what you say, you know what I'm saying, going along with the movement, they go against the movement for clickbait. But that type shit, you know what I'm saying, it'll eventually come to an end because, again, athletes are getting their own platforms. This podcasting thing is the greatest thing that ever happened, you know what I'm saying, because now you got a place where you can push your own narrative, where you can respond to those that say goofy shit to you and put those false, you know, things out there about you. You know what I mean? You can kind of like defend yourself, you know what I'm saying, and defend yourself the way that you should be able to defend yourself, where you can't be restricted from basically calling a dickhead, an asswipe, you know what I mean, a crumb snatcher. But yeah, again, you know what I'm saying, it's just something about that just it sticks in my craw. It's a pet peeve of mine, you know what I mean, like, why tear down when you should be building up? But again, welcome Jaylen Brown, man, to the city. Gonna fit right in. You see, he already got the Philly beard, you know what I'm saying? Already got the mentality, and he's a dog on the court. We already know, we've already seen his play, can't be talked about enough. And all we need now is just the team that just, you know, that cohesiveness. And this is, I wanted to talk about this and touch on it, and he seems to be escaping people. But you can't escape now. Nick Nurse, you are officially on the hot seat. It is your job to get this team to play as a cohesive unit and to bring the best out of each and every player. There's no more excuses. There's no more excuses for the Slavican, a.k.a. Joel the Process, which I'm processed out, MD. And there's no excuses for you, Nick Nurse. This season is pivotal. And you have 40 games in my book. 40 games, bruh. 40. And if this shit ain't looking right, swing the axe. Swing the axe. Cut the cord. Get the dead weight out of here and replace. And I got your replacement already in effect. He's already in the building. He's already in the, well, he's not in the building, but he's in the area. And his name is Jay Wright. So you can fuck around if you want to and bring some bullshit to the table this year and play your starters 50 minutes and all that when you got a bench, you just reconstructed the bench, and bullshit if you want, like I said. And you will be on the hot seat. You will, matter of fact, you won't be on the hot seat, you'll be on a plane back to Toronto or wherever the fuck you live at. It's no joke this year. There's no way this team should be nothing less than the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, I'm saying it. It's a healthy Sixers team. And that's not even counting Joel Embiid, because we can't count on him. We already know he's going to miss his typical 30, 40 games. Maybe give us something in the playoffs. But with that three-headed monster, and we can basically run up and down the court, play the fast game, play the speed game. You know what I'm saying? Where we don't have to dump it down low and do all the goofy shit. We got the athletes to do it, and basically we don't have to depend on Joel. We don't. That's what you did with this trade. You made it so you got two potential 30-point scorers, and VJ's come on the come up. Excuse me. Pause on the come. Pause. Yeah, we're in a pause era. Sorry, but VJ's on the come up. So basically, you got two 30-point scorers, and let's say VJ gets you 20. Boom. You're in effect right there. You know what I'm saying? So we're really not counting on them, D. We really put ourselves in a position where whatever he gives us is a bonus. So, again, like I said, Nick Nurse, is no way, shape, or form this team should be anything short of the Eastern Conference Finals. And in touching on Nick Nurse, man, I got to say, Jameer Nelson, Mike Gansey, in a matter of 36 hours, you have single-handedly transformed this city back to I mean, it's not lukewarm. We really like this. This city is back on Sixers basketball, man. I'm seeing more Sixers hats, more Sixers apparel in the last, like I said, 36 hours than I've seen all year. And this is like almost like getting Jimmy Butler all over again. It's almost like that. And here's the big thing. Yeah, I'm gonna throw my shout out at old Saltburger. That's what I call him. Old Toby Tobias Harris. By the way, he's still stealing money. San Antonio just gave this cat over a $30-something million contract. That's insane to me. That's insane. But again, I digress. I just can't believe, man, with that tandem of like I said, Gansey and Jameer Nelson is dead in these past like 36 hours. You got us a power forward that can shoot, plays defense scrappy. You got us a stud guard wing player. I mean, and then you go sign Anthony Simons for the bench. You basically get rid of Oubre and Grimes, and like I said, this team is just, the upgrades is phenomenal. And here's the thing: they might not be done. They might not be done, which is going to lead me right into it. But I'm a damper the mood. I don't want it. I don't want it. And I'm talking about everybody's favorite player, the LeBron sexuals, as I call him. Yeah, LeBron James. I don't want him. I don't want him. And here's why I don't want him. For one, I know y'all going to say, yeah, he's a perfect fit. He plays the four. He can distribute the ball. He can give you some scoring. He's going to be a leader and all that. Yeah. The leadership thing is overrated. I'm not going to give him that. Now, we got to take a look at his overall career. He wasn't the leader in Miami. We know D Wade was the leader of that team. He was just an asset and another piece, a big piece, but another piece. He wasn't a leader in Cleveland. He was a leader by default, by name. Because if he was a leader, then he wouldn't have never left the first time and then had to come back to get a championship. What a leader does is like Jordan. He stays with his team and he does what he needs to do and gets it done. 6 rings, dare I say. 2 3-peats. A leader goes to LA and doesn't win a fantasy bubble championship and then hasn't done shit since. And then whines and cries his way through, and now until they finally had to give him the boot. That's not a leader, ladies and gentlemen. LeBron has never been a leader. But, of course, we're going to get those that say he has been. And if you disagree, put your comments down. You know what I'm saying? This, like I said, this ain't a show where we expect you to agree. We welcome the debates. I love it. You know what I'm saying? That's not leadership, ladies and gentlemen. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's a difference maker on the court when he decides to be. Keyword, decides to be. Because we all know LeBron has this whiny tendency, ask J.R. Smith, when he damn near wanted to decapitate that man for taking a shot in the Golden State series or throwing the ball away in that Golden State series. Let me ask the people, and I'll pose this question. In LeBron's championship wins, how many superstars has he had on that team? Or how many players would you consider top 50 NBA players has he had on those teams that he's won with? He's had Kyrie when he's won. He's had Kevin Love when he's won. Who else he's had? The name escapes me right now. But I don't think Iman Shumpert's the top 50 player, but he's a pretty good player. He's had Iman Shumpert on his teams. He's had D Wade. He's had on his team. Chris Bosh. Those super teams. Dare I say the super teams were created by LeBron. So that's one reason why I wouldn't want him here. I think the chemistry of the team that we have right now is perfect. It's a perfectly made team. And when you bring LeBron here, there's only one ball, ladies and gentlemen. I could see him and JB clashing. I could see that happening. I think JB, with a guy like MD, he could be more like the Jimmy Butler to MD. Like with Jimmy, you know, MD pretty much he respected his game. You know what I mean? He respected him enough to know that Jimmy is one of those type guys, he's a dog. So all that bullshit you're going to try to do and loafing around and flopping and all that goofy shit, he's not going for it. He's going to call you out on it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be a player like, look, get your big dumb ass down low. And I think JB has those type of, attributes. You know what I mean? Where MD, you see in the playoffs where they had that jaw jacking back and forth. I don't think JB's scared to go to MD and be like, look, man, we trying to win something here. And if you ain't trying to do nothing, then sit your big dumb ass over there. Otherwise, come out here and help us get this thing done. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't think, MD will be able to get away with that. But with LeBron and his ego, him and JB will definitely clash. Because you see what LeBron does when he doesn't agree with coaches, when he doesn't agree with players, then you get him out of here. He gets him out of here. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the bottom line. Or he leaves. But that's another reason. And finally, the circus that it brings. I don't want the circus of, okay, well, if you're going to bring me in here, you got to bring both my sons, and, they're going to have to go to this school, and or they're going to have to do this, and you have to make time for them for the G League, and, I want them up, I want them brought up, things like that. We don't need that. We already got one circus with Embiid. You know what I'm saying? We know how he's getting down. We don't know if he's going to eat fat burger and eat his way out of shape. We don't know whether he's going to be injured today. We don't know whether he's going to play tomorrow. We don't know none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't need another guy in here who's going to bring this circus. Then he's going to bring a documentary camera crew here. And who the hell needs that? Who needs that? Who needs that? Do you really want to see? I mean, well, it would be interesting to see LeBron going to Max's and shit like that. And hearing the young fans, when he has an off game. Like, LeBron, you bum ass nigga. You know how Philly talk. You know what I'm saying? You're a bum. You're a bum, scrap. You know how we talk. It would be kind of interesting hearing that, but no, but that's more for shits and giggles. But on a serious note, we don't need that circus. We don't need it. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be, as it is, like I said, MD pretty much creates a big media thing, and with JB coming here, you already know the media is out to get him. So, we're going to have the media here. You know what I mean? We already got, like I said, two guys in here that create a big media frenzy. So we don't need that third wheel. We don't need it. We don't need it. And like I said, the chemistry-wise, the super team era, that shit is pretty much fading, man. And I wouldn't say the Sixers have a super team. We just got, like I said, it meshes well. You got your scorer who could dominate in the scoring department. You know what I mean? Then you got your other fringe scorer who Maxey could get his. Then you got VJ who's going to just play his role and play his part and can get you something on night in, night out. And all we basically need, like I said, MD to do is just do what you do. We don't need 30 from you. We might not even need 20 from you. Get your normal 19 and 10, you know what I mean? Do your thing. And he's not really been a rebounder these last couple years, so, you know what I mean? Get your 2, 3, 4, 5 rebounds, and, we rock out like that. But again, like I said, we don't need LeBron here. For those Bron sexuals who want him here, for just to, you know what I mean, to have something to talk about, no. My answer would be no. You know what I'm saying? And if your answer is yes, like I said, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know why. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, and I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. But again, leave your comments in the comment section and let me know. And we got to jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen, because again, we talk about sports. We talk about all sports. Got the Flyers, man. Got the hockey team. And like I said, I don't know if it's, I might be the one and the only last black hockey fan in Philly, but I'm here. I love the Flyers, man. I've been liking them since 1983. Like I said, since little background history, since I got the chance to meet Bob Clark. We used to go down to the old Spectrum back in the day, when they used to print the T-shirts out. For those that, I'm showing my age a little bit here. I ain't afraid to say it. I'm 49, looking fine, you know what I'm saying? But again, we used to go down to the old Spectrum, when the Sixers were playing back in the 80s. And in 83, my aunt, God rest her, she had found this ad in the paper, where you could print up, you could put these posters of Dr. J. Moses Malone and Andrew Toney on there, and you can iron it on. It was the iron-on. So we ironed it on our T-shirts. We got half prices off the tickets, and we got down there real early. So we saw this white guy walking around the stadium because, for those that are old, older and go back in the day, with Sixers basketball, and like the Spectrum was shaped like a big circle, you could walk around it. So we walk around. They used to have this place where all the players used to go, like a lounge where they used to stay at. So we walking around and we see this guy outside smoking a cigarette, white guy. And we wave, he waves at us and he looks at us and he's smiling. I'm like, Jackie, he ain't got no teeth. So he's like, yeah, that's Bob Clark, the hockey player. So me being, a big sports guy, I'm interested. I go up to him and I ask him, excuse me, can I ask him questions real quick? And I asked him, about hockey and who he played for and whatnot. And, he broke it down for me. So then I, went home and got a chance to, watch some old Flyers games because they happened to be playing on Channel 17 back in the day. And it was fascinating to me. So then, it caught my attention. So right then and there, I became a big hockey fan and been following them ever since. So, with that being said, like I've been following hockey for a long time. And the Flyers, man, this team was they was in the dumps. I mean, bad. To where, I'm a 4-for-4 guy. This team was pretty much obsolete in the city. And they hired, they got a guy by the name of Danny Briere here, and he's been making moves like no other. And this latest move with the guy Leo Carlsson from the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, he's the center for the Mighty Ducks. Young, 19 years old, one of the best players, top 5 in the league right now. And they signed him to an offer sheet, and which lets me know the Flyers are ready to make that big leap. They already made a leap last year with Porter Martone coming in here with the big Stanley Cup push they had, making it to the second round, dispatching the Penguins and winning that series 4-2, getting the city excited about hockey again. And this move right here, like I said, it's pushing the team forward. You get this guy in here, like I say, he's a top 5 centerman, which is what the Flyers needed. We got pretty much all the pieces in place to make another run next year. I'm not saying Stanley Cup, because you still got young guys growing into their positions. You got Matvei Michkov, who came off a bad season, but he's going to work his way back this year. And like I said, if you get Carlsson in here, man, sky's the limit for the team. You got him signed to an offer sheet, and we're waiting for Anaheim to pretty much try to match it. They got him until Friday to match it. And if by Friday they don't match it, man, I think the Flyers made a big move, and they're going to make a big push next season. We're looking at a team right now, like I said. You got Martone, you got this guy Carlsson, you got Travis Konecny. You still, like I said, you still got older guys like Couturier. They made a push for Giroux, which lets me know that they're trying to sign some wily veterans here to kind of, like I said, teach these young guys the game and get them ready to take that next step. You know what I mean? Like, you can't ask for much more for what the Flyers are doing right now. Then you got the Phillies. The Phillies lost a big series. Well, not a big series, but pretty much lost. I call it a waste series. They came off they've been pretty much hot for the last, like I said, month and a half. So they were due pretty much to lose a series, and they went out west to face the Kansas City Royals right before the All-Star break. Pretty much this is like the dog days right before the All-Star break. So you kind of expect the team to take a little step back, but not too much. We 3.5 games out of first place, which is big. From where they started. The Phillies started out 15.5 out. They fired Topper and got Donnie Baseball in here, and the sky's been the limit since then. So like I said, I expect them to, like I said, make that push after the All-Star break. Sanchez had a rough game last night, but he's been pretty much the ace all season, so I expect him to bounce back, and get things going. Bryce Harper, he's on point, but I don't like what Bryce is doing right now. Bryce, you cannot, you're doing the MD right now, man. You're trying to force the people to force you in the All-Star game. You know what I mean? You didn't make it this year, bruh. You know what I mean? Your reputation can't precede you. You having a good season, but there's other guys that have been playing way better baseball, you know what I mean, and deserve the opportunity to play an All-Star game. I know you wanted to, get that thing done, especially with the All-Star game being here, but we're well represented this year. We got Schwarber going. You got Brandon Marsh making his first All-Star game. You got Sanchez making the All-Star team. So, we're pretty well represented. You got Duran, the Durantula, making the All-Star team, the closer for the Phillies. So we're pretty well represented. And, again, Harper, you should just take this time, man, get yourself well rested, and get ready to come back for that home stretch so we can make that push to make the postseason and hopefully push towards the World Series. Because this is the last hurrah for the Phillies team, man. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen. The team is, as it's constructed, if they don't get it done this year, I can see a whole lot of wholesale changes. And one being Harper. We already know, like, internally, the upper management already made their statement. They already put it out there that they don't think he's elite like he once was. So, you know, this is a proven season for Bryce Harper. Either you're going to shit or get off the pot. Right now, like I said, he's been doing well. He's been doing, doing pretty good, putting the team on his back. But we're going to need more. We're going to need more, as they say, more chocolate in Chocolate City, as they say. But I'm going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your support. Show this morning, you know, like I said, wanted to get into a little bit of the Jaylen Brown situation, talk a little Phillies, little Sixers, a little bit of Flyers, and keep you up to speed with that. Coming soon, again, you know, because we know the show, like I said, is based off of sports, but we also talk to our sports Philly legends, you know, regular people, regular folk, you know what I mean, but they're still legends in the city. You know, they participated in a lot of big things in the city. One particular thing was something that I take near and dear to my heart, which was the North Central Basketball League that was down 15th Street, which most of us, you know what I mean, in my era, in my age bracket, if you played street ball or you played basketball on the courts down 15th Street, you know about it. And like I said, it was a big thing in the neighborhood. We're going to have some of those people on here, man, that participated, some of those that were able to witness it firsthand. You know what I mean? We're going to get some of their opinions, you know, and some things you might didn't know, like myself. You know, a lot of guys participated in this league, man, that were heavy hitters in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Did they think? You know what I mean? It created a positive influence on guys like me, you know, growing up. Like I said, just watching those cats out there, man, it was like our NBA. You know, for some of us who couldn't afford tickets back then, parents, you know, were struggling out here. You know, that was our NBA. That was the mecca of you know, like I said, of basketball as we know it in the neighborhoods. Basketball in Philly, you know what I mean, was right here in North Philly. Right down the street from here. Played right there. You know what I mean? Some of these guys, man, whoo, better than some of these NBA cats. But again, we're going to have them on here, you know what I mean, hopefully soon. We're going to get those interviews in. Like I said, this is the channel for those, for guys like that, man, to get their flowers while they still here. You know what I mean? They deserve them too. But again, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe on all your social platforms. And if you don't get to see the show live, you know what I mean, on your Facebook feed, you can go back and always look at it on the YouTube. Give me your opinion. You know what I mean? And just support. That's it. You know what I mean? Don't take nothing to support. We appreciate y'all. We great get up out of here. What's up with the what's up is the word on the street. You know what I mean? Love on somebody to love on you. Holla at your boy. One.